Hello, how you doing today again? Welcome to another episode of Ubuntu and Open Source. So, as you can see, I have installed here Ubuntu Mate 1804. I've looked at this before on my own when it was 1404. I was impressed, but not too impressed. I'm really impressed with 1804. As you can see, I have this set up with the Unity, but I've done a few things different. I put the trash can down here. I took away the menu and I put it over here. In the welcome screen, there's always been a lot to talk about the welcome. And I've never thought much of it until I've installed and played with it this time. You know, and everybody talks to you about these parts. But this is what's impressed to me especially if you're going to be a new Linux user who's just starting out and you don't know much about how Linux works or some of the things, the learning curve you have to go through. So updates and extras. As you can see, for getting started, check to see for new software security updates are available for you. So as soon as you get it installed, this welcome screen pops up and you can tell your computer right off the bat to check for updates. And as you can see, software can be found later in system admin. Software updater can be found later in system admin. So if you come up here, and there we go, administration, software, and updates. Okay, I must be having an internet thing here going on. But my system is up to date. Oh, now it's saying no software updates are available. So I'm all up to date. And so there's only two things I've installed. One of them was the additional codecs and the Blu-ray and DVD playback support. Oh, okay, maybe a few more than two things. Simple screen recorder did not come installed by default. I had to install that myself. There we go. And I went to Mate terminal. Sudo apt install simple screen recorder. So you can see I already ran the command to install it. And so basically, it says install. You want it. You want some of the extras, you install it. Now this password is the password you created to log in when you first installed your system. This is basically how this part works. Network isn't available. Okay, I still must be having... there went something. There we go. internet must be finicky today. Wants to work, doesn't want to work. That's all right. But I just pretty much wanted to show you how this here actually works. Additional screensavers installed, and you get a notification. So as soon as you click on getting started, you can learn. Language input drivers. I do have an NVIDIA card. See, it's telling me I have an NVIDIA card. And if I do additional drivers, I can get the proprietary drivers installed instead of using the open source ones. Optional tasks. Learn about backing up. You can configure it to back up. Learn about it. Firewall. Configure firewall. Somebody is listening out there, because you have to learn that most Linuxes, even though they have a firewall installed, here we go, it's not turned on by default. Now my firewall is turned on. Right here in the getting started, optional tasks. As soon as you learn, you can add and configure users. Obviously, everything else here is if you want to get into it, software. See, now we're going right into the software boutique. Right from the welcome screen. Accessories. Etcher. I'm going to install that. And you see it kind of puts it in a basket there. Gparted. Now some of these are open source and some of these are free. Internet. I'll go with that. That's obviously open source. Firefox is already installed. And see, this is free. Google Chrome is free. Google Earth. I thought they didn't install Google Earth anymore. Or rather, Google Earth isn't offered to be installed anymore. Sparkle Share, Spider Oak, in case you have some cloud storage in them. So this, for Linux, there is more than just Dropbox and InSync for your Google. Or if you want to set up your own server with a Nextcloud client, and you have a Nextcloud server of your own. Same with OwnCloud. But these are online. Dropbox, InSync, Sparkle Share, Spider Oak. You get. I might stop here in a second. All right. You see, this is nice. So you get LibreOffice. As you can see, Base isn't installed by default. I like to have it I have dabbled and played a little bit with Microsoft Access. I don't know if I ever will with LibreOffice Base, but I like to have it there just in case. If I want to get an itch for database. And there's more. If you want to install the Oracle VirtualBox. I am going through this kind of fast because I'm just really taking a look and showing you. This is like my third time booting this system. Software. Now, software to get software. That's cool, but I don't know. I mean, one of these two should be by default, if you ask me, even though we have the software boutique here. Like Synaptic Package Manager or maybe this here software store. Should be, one of those two should be by default. There is quite a large selection. I admit there's quite a large selection here in the software boutique. There wasn't so much last time I looked. When I looked at 1404. They did have lots of impressive software back then, but it's a lot more now. Ooh, KDN Live. Cody. And see, some of these are free. This isn't open source. Open source software. OBS Studio. Spotify. Okay. And so what, you get your selections done, then you get a list here and you apply changes and hope my internet doesn't want to be finicky and say no or give me problems. Okay, so there's that, the software boutique. I'll minimize that. As you can see, I've changed, normally there's there's always Firefox, but there was Writer, Cal, the spreadsheet LibreCal, and the spreadsheet Impress for presentation, and there was something else, one more. I think this one right here. Yeah, the control center. And nothing was down here at the bottom. So I made a few changes. And this here menu, the brisk menu, was right here above Firefox. As you can see, I put the classic one here too. Even in the Unity, I would always install a classic app. Why? I don't know. I just like to have it. Okay, so I'm going to play with LibreOffice 6. I'm going to start Writer. This here looked like it started to tell me something. Package does not exist. Who's that for? Etcher. So it's nice that they're there, but it's not cool when that happens. So this is asking for my password again. That's for that there, the welcome, installing the packages. Okay, so what do you notice? Right off, I noticed there's no menu up here. Okay, that's a bummer. How did I do this? Don't come apart. Good, thank you. Okay. This does not want to play nice. Untitled 2? What do you mean? I didn't even know I had. Oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't know it was like that. Okay. I must have done something in the configuration. Okay, so I have default, single toolbar, sidebar, normal, web. So now I'm going to go to, I combined it, properties. Okay, this is properties of untitled one. I want properties of, oh, here we are, preferences. This is what I'm looking for. Advance, enable experimental features. Everybody tells you about these. I'm going to restart now. But they really don't tell you about them. I'm going to right click and pin this. Unlock, move. Oh, that's the dock. Okay, let's go back to Writer. And so most people tell you about this part. View notebook bar. And so there we go. But what you can do as well, menu bar. What did I do in the configuration of this? Preferences. Oh, compact mode. That's what I did. There we go. I had the compact mode on. And so, like, if you do configure it, and see now it goes away. So if you're wondering why you don't have anything up here after you do this notebook thing, just click on that menu bar. And if your system doesn't have a global menu like Ubuntu Mate here does, it would still show up normally. But you can still do the menu bar, click and unclick. It just disappear in between here, the window border and the tabs. So there we go. So one of the reasons I want to bring this up It's because I have played with this a little bit. Okay, so when you're in here, page layout, references, review, view. See, if you just have the tabs here, you have no navigation except for this here over here. Now there it is, navigator. My bad. I like to have both of these here. Both on the right and the left. Navigator on the left and this one here on the right. But also, insert. Okay, so I can insert images, galleries, a table, do page breaks and menu breaks in sections. But insert. I can insert text box, font work, my page count and everything. These here shapes. But if you look at page layout, line number, manual break, you can see I'm looking for a certain thing that's not here that you can normally do quite easily. Or should be able to do normally. It's just a little bit of rambling from me. Whereas if you go to insert and you want to do a header, now I have my header. Whereas before, let me get it unchecked. Whereas before, when you normally start LibreOffice Writer, there is no header. Double clicking up here, multiple clicks, really doesn't do much either. So to me, this would be one thing I would like to see changed or improved upon with, if they're going to go with this here tab thing, which I like. I would like to see the ability to do headers and footers from the tabs. Whether you do the inserts or page layout, it doesn't matter to me. Home. No, still don't see anything particular about headers, unless you nope, not even in there. Just a suggestion, LibreOffice. A great piece of software. I like it. I think this is pretty cool. Don't save. I'm not saving. So I'm wondering what's going to happen when it comes to next. Yeah. Skype or Spotify. Etcher failed. It has to do something with the repositories. Obviously, they tweaked Google so much that the repositories aren't a problem. Just click it and install. So what's free in here? Etcher's free. Google Chrome and Google Earth is free. Skype for Linux and Spotify. The others are still, Adobe Flash Player, that's free. But the others are pretty much open source. Gparted, Chromium, UGet, Glabels, LibreOffice Base, the software, Synaptic Package Manager, KDN Live, open source. You still get quite a bit of hefty packages you can install, software you can install right out of the boutique. I like that. One of the things I like to see to tweak, as you see me try to, there we go. That's how you do it. I was going to say, how do you move these things? Okay, that works. Just grab it. Whoops. Close that. You grab it, keep your left mouse button down, pull it until you get the little hands, and then you can move it to wherever you want to. Yeah, that's cool. Now you see as I left click here on the desktop, okay. My welcome screen, new, quit. Then I click on the desktop. These are the folders in my desktop, just like I sort of click on here. Now, one of the things I really like is this here. Let me show you something here. Create folder. I'm going to create a folder. And you can right click, go to the properties. Mostly I find this in, really you don't see this in Ubuntu or Ubuntu. You can actually go to a picture of some kind that it will take. This is a PNG file. And now that's my folder icon. I think that's cool. Move the trash. I'm all done with that. I like that a lot. Skype for Linux is installed. Password again. Okay, so when I maximize, my menu up here where it says Kaja becomes the part of the application, Kaja, the file browser, the window border, and the close, minimize, and restore or unmaximize, maximize shows up here on the top left. I like that too. But it's so much better here in Mate. I've tried to do similar things in XFCE with because you can do this with XFCE too, but it's a lot more polished and a lot more nicer here with Mate. And so let me show you this with LibreOffice too. That's it. And what makes it even so much nicer with LibreOffice in Mate is that the menu bar actually does show up inside the global menu. It doesn't work in, well, I haven't seen it work in Ubuntu or Ubuntu yet. But here in Mate, it works. I'm hoping if I'm going to try out Ubuntu and see if this global menu works in Ubuntu just as well as it does in Mate with LibreOffice. I like it, and I'm glad to see that they got it working well. Okay. As you can see, this here I liked. In Ubuntu, I can't always get this to work like this here in Mate. In more previous versions, I could, but as the later versions came out, it was a little, it didn't work. But now here it is in Mate, it's working. I can get this applet and have it run. Performance, power save, on demand. Now where'd it go? Yep, performance is just going to stay full bore. You know, the processors. Two more to go. And when I tried out one of the betas, I think it was beta 1. For the system monitor here. Right click, Timco. Preferences, there we go. I couldn't get it to keep at 15 pixels. It would always start back up at its default at 40. I was like, arrgh. So now I'm glad they got that worked out. Okay. I like the weather applet here. I didn't install that, did I? Nope. I'm going to have to wait until this here boutique stops. As you can see up here in the monitor, memory in used by programs 53%, 50%, in use as cache. System load average, processor, my trash, empty trash. So I don't have to have a trash can on the desktop anymore. I like that too. I can have a very minimalistic desktop if I want to. Oh, there's base. Base got installed. Google Earth graphics. Now you know gonna have to get GIMP and maybe a few more. Right now I'm just doing a little bit of rambling. And whatever comes to mind of what I like or dislike about Ubuntu Mate. So far I'm liking this. Let's see though. what I like to see. Okay, it's the dock. It's still showing to be the dock. Okay, so one of the reasons I put the brisk menu up here instead of keeping it in this here panel that has a dock, it was pushing the icons was pushing the brisk menu up so high in the dock it would cut off the brisk menu like halfway. And this is a 1080 desktop. I'm like, what? So when the dock expands, it expands pretty large. As you can see here, workspaces, display windows, panel options, app spacing. I even put the app spacing down to 0 to try and fix it. So a bandage on top of app icon appearance. So that part is for the panel. Now that is dock preferences. Where'd it go? Window selection from applets window, panel options, change color, disable. Pop-up delays. I'm gonna put that down there. Don't know where it went to. Oh, I know where it went to. It's not about the dock. I remember now. Let me unlock this. Ooh. There we go. Properties, expand. So even when I shrank it, add the panel. Brisk menu, add. So I'm going to move this back all the way up to the top. Add the trash can is locked. Okay. I'm going to lock that. I'm going to close that. Put this back to 66 because that's its default. Okay. Well, it wants to make a liar out of me this time. It's probably because I'm trying to do this with you. So only one piece of software failed to install because of its repository. There it goes. See what I mean? See part of Firefox icon getting chopped off? So I had to remove it. Move this all the way back up. Lock. So it was messing with the icons a little bit. I'd like to see that get improved upon with the panel and the dock. The dock takes up quite a bit of space by default. So if it could sense, that there's more applets on the dock here, or have the dock at a smaller size, and as it adds applications, it expands, even with applications that you load. Maybe I load Shotwell, and it just expands down here, Cool. So, maybe a little bit of improvement upon there. But other than that, I'm liking this Ubuntu Mate. So some of the things, as I said, have me really impressed is the welcome. And this here in Kaja, where I can put in my own icon or picture if I want to for my folders. And this here more polished working of the global menu and the minimize and maximize and close up here. Working more smoothly and fluently. I'm liking this a lot. There you go, Ubuntu Mate 1804. Thank you.